Happy Thanksgiving! What's up, universe? It's Julie here. Welcome back to our channel. It's Thanksgiving Day today. It is the day that I was anticipating, I've been working for. If you haven't seen our Countdown to Thanksgiving series, days 1, 2, and 3, go back and watch them. I'll link them down below where you can see all the prep and all the shopping and cleaning I've been doing up to this point. And I wish that we could have put out these videos a little bit closer to real time, but I'm hoping that you had a great Thanksgiving and that you are going to still enjoy watching how this all unfolds in this series for me. I dried this out in the fridge last night by just keeping it uncovered in the fridge. And then I have the neck and giblets boiling here so that I can make a turkey stock so that I can use it for gravy and other applications. And here's some of my prep work. Pre-chopped herbs, pre-chopped garlic. I have a couple of casseroles hand prepared. I really couldn't have pulled off this Thanksgiving this year without Joe's help, and he knew that I was just swamped this year trying to film and edit and other things, so he took on a bulk of the cleaning, which I did too, but he definitely was a huge help because even last night he stayed up really late to do the dishes that I had accumulated, and then he also scrubbed the bathroom and set up tables and just all these little riffraff on top of watching Lincoln. So what I'm thankful for this year is my husband Joe, and I really am thankful for our partnership in life and in business, and so I just wanted to put that out there. I'm gonna be looking at all of the recipes and prep sheet lists that I have stuck all around my kitchen cabinets, and this is a tip that I gave in my How to Tackle Thanksgiving Like a Pro. And so I do this in real life, and I've been scribbling little notes where needed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go around with a pen, figure out how to orchestrate and coordinate when to put what in the oven, when to put what on the stove, how to reheat, and how to hold things. What I'm gonna work on next is corn, because I just like to work on green beans, corn, like those little things that just you want to get out of the way. I usually either use fresh or frozen, but today I'm going to use canned because I had leftover canned corn from, we had a little church Thanksgiving potluck, and I was in charge of the corn, and the instructions were to use canned corn. And I realized, I was like, oh my gosh, canned corn actually is really good. I feel like I have to address why I'm doing so much work and prep for Thanksgiving. Like, why is it such a big deal? I did receive a comment, thank you for that, about, oh, is it bigger than Christmas? And I think, well, not only is it the biggest cooking day of the year, Thanksgiving requires very specific foods, and it's usually foods that you eat all together only once in a year. So I feel like that's why it was hard for me to go grocery shopping, because everyone's buying the same things. Also, vlogging while preparing is hard. It takes a lot longer to set up the camera angles and everything than you think, and so that kind of like delays your progress. So that's why I'm like staying up late and things like that. And lastly, the reason it's so important to me is because like for me, it's nostalgic, because with my family, we always hosted Thanksgiving every year from as far as I can remember. So I always helped out even as a kid, and we always invited people who didn't have a place to go. Sometimes our Thanksgiving tradition changed every year, like the faces would change. So we didn't have actually family around, so it was just friends, and those friends became our family, and those are still our family friends to this day, and we're still tight. And I think it's those bonds that we made, those traditions. And so I think that by me carrying on this tradition in this new setting with the family here, it just makes me feel like I'm doing something that reminds me of my childhood and tradition. And of course, I want to say I'm so thankful for my son Lincoln. So happy to be his mommy. And he's just the sweetest, kindest, funniest, craziest little boy ever. He walks in, he's like, Mommy, what's that on your hair? Yeah, it's called a bandana. It's to keep Mommy's hair out of the way.
Oh, what's that? Bye-bye,
Bye,
Mommy.
Lincoln.
Oh, Bobby walks.
Good thing I didn't get the turkey juices all over the place right now. It's like our breakfast table at the same time. Just wanted to give you an overview of what's happening right now in my kitchen. Blanched green beans, turkey drying out, butter, cereal, breakfast crew, recipes all over the place. 2 things on the stove, 1 thing in the oven. You know, I like these quiet moments in the morning on Thanksgiving because one thing that's different is that because I did a lot of prep, I don't feel so crazy in the brain before I have to host. So I am cooking up a storm, and it is hot in the kitchen and everything that I normally do. But I think when I was younger, I used to be like scrambling mad dash, like frazzled until the 11th hour. But I feel strangely calm, and I think the prep work definitely helped. I'm gonna try this new method of boiling with the skin on and then peeling afterwards, because I'm gonna use a ricer. In the past, I didn't have a ricer. It's really important to note that if you're gonna be working with raw poultry, to have a separate ramekin of salt for all your seasoning needs, so that you don't do cross-contamination with anything else, because I usually keep my salt in this other like bamboo ramekin, but I'm not gonna double dip my hand in there. So this is my separate turkey seasoning salt. Just finished cooking my potatoes until they were fork tender, and then I dumped them into a colander. But as they go into the colander, you can see that the skin is already just like peeling off. And so I'm putting them back into the hot pot that they were cooked in. Ooh, it is hot. Just so that they can dry out a little bit more. But I think also if I just use a ricer and feed it through with the peels, in theory, the peels should remain behind in the ricer. Let's check on the stock. Oh, that looks rich, doesn't that? And I'm kind of intermittently working on this butter thing. I swear I will work on the turkey soon. I'm gonna liberally season the inside of the cavity with salt and pepper. And you're gonna create a little pocket under the skin of the breast. And then you're just kind of like breaking it away from the body, but you don't want it to rip, so you gotta be gentle.
Mommy, do it, Mommy, do it.
I'm making a turkey. Are you blowing out the turkey? You're blowing out the turkey fire? Take a little bit of butter.
Uh-oh, no way. Mommy, what's that the hand?
What's on my hand? It's butter. Okay, so here's my turkey all trussed up and ready to go with string around the wings. I've done different versions where I tuck it underneath itself. I like that too, but then I realized that going this way made it a little bit juicier to me because it was kind of like holding the bird together. And then this one actually came with the slit inside of this part, and so the legs tuck in nicely, so I didn't have to truss that. Turkey's in. I'm gonna time it for about 2.5 hours and then like kind of check it from there. Turkey stock for the gravy, and I just tasted it. It's amazing. Just gonna pour through the sieve. All right, so as time is ticking along, I'm recording less and less because I just got a motor at this point. I still have a good amount of time, but I like to not feel frazzled when guests are here. So I've just been cleaning up as I went along. And I've been doing my tip of loading my dirty dishes in here. So these are all dirty, so then my counter space is more freed. But I've just quickly set up this table. It's not much. So this, see, I put my little post-it notes. This is where the charcuterie board will be. And then I have some plates. I didn't put out utensils yet. That's one of the probably tasks I'm gonna have the guests do when they come, the early bird guests. And then I have these platters out with the post-it notes. So I know where they go. And then I did some light decorating. Not much. That's it. That's all it's gonna be. And then Joe just took out the trash for me one last time so that it's not so cluttered in the kitchen. And Lincoln's just watching Dora the Explorer. So as you can tell, the best part of this way is that I didn't even have to peel those potatoes, because left the peels on to boil them, and then if I'm using a ricer, don't have to peel it at all. So that was a lot of save time. Mashed potatoes done. All I did was add some melted butter, garlic, salt, and cream. And I think I have about a minute left on my turkey before I decide to pull it out and check it. So I don't know if it's done. This is when I'm deciding to pull it out and just read the temperature. Another minute. Okay, so turkey update. I took the temperature in the thigh and it's registering higher than I wanted it to be. It's around like 175. It's fluctuating. And you know, that's okay because like you want to aim for at least 165, not too much higher than that. So like in the 70s, it should be okay. And actually I've cooked a turkey where it registered 180 and it was still fine. It was still pretty juicy. So we'll hope for the best and hope that it turns out okay and that it's seasoned well and everything too. But I think looks wise, it looks pretty good. I'm gonna let it sit here on the carving board because you can see that the juice is already starting to leak out. It'll take at least 20 minutes to redistribute, sometimes as long as 45 minutes. Joe's helping me out a little bit, but what I'm doing right now is I'm using a sieve and I'm pouring Joe helped me, the pan drippings into a measuring cup to catch all of that stuff that I don't need. And then there is a lot of fat and you can see it already starting to separate. And I don't have one of those fancy fat separators, so I'm gonna just throw this in the freezer and then it'll get hardened and then I can scoop out the layer of fat on top, and that's a good way to just kind of scoop it out easily. What we got going here is I've removed my smooth mashed potatoes into the crock pot. So I just buttered it, put some cream on the bottom, and then I'm gonna stir it every now and then. And then if it seems like it's getting a little bit clumpy or whatnot, I'll just have to thin it out with some milk or some butter. I changed the temperature of my oven to 375. The stuffed mushrooms and the stuffing actually cook at the same temperature. Sweet potatoes are being drained. They're nice and tender. Joe dumped it for me. He said there was one casualty. That's fine. Here I have kale salad dressing that in the works, and I still have to actually work on the kale salad itself because I haven't actually done anything for that. So how we're doing with time is that it's currently almost 4. It's 3:55, and I said for a guest to come at 4:30, so I wouldn't be surprised if they start coming in like soon right now. My mother-in-law still has to cook noodles in here in this kitchen, so I'm trying to keep it somewhat clean, and she's making a Korean dish, like a spicy noodle dish. I think that'll be kind of fun with the rest of the traditional food. And so I gotta make sure I free up a large pot for her and give her some space. And then for cooking wise, that's pretty much it. I just have to chop up stuff for kale salad. I just wanted to quickly show you one of my tips about allowing your guests to do work but giving them specific tasks. So I have the charcuterie board stuff laid out for them, grapes already washed, everything ready to go. And then I have a tray with some of the biscuits on there for them to just lay out on there. And then I also have in the refrigerator the beets and the pickles ready to go so that they can put that and the cranberry sauce all in here. And since all of these are labeled, it shouldn't be a big deal trying to figure out where everything goes. My mother-in-law came here and she's helping me with the kale salad. So, and she also brought this. You'll see it when it's all done. It's a Korean noodle dish, spicy, and some mushroom side dish. So yeah, this is our first helper, early bird guest.
I got in trouble, so.
So you're not allowed to do it?
Yeah, the grapes, I guess, are not. Yeah, they don't belong there.
They can go there, but not in a massive chocolate. you gotta break off some of the branches.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's a lot, I know. Oh, they did? Oh no, they're so pretty on the vine.
They are.
Maybe these are fine. I'll take those broken ones. So this is the frozen fat separator thing. So if I do this, see, now it's easier to separate the fat because it's solid as opposed to when it's liquid. And you just scoop this out and throw it away. And then the stuff on the bottom is what you're gonna use for the gravy. All right, so my mother-in-law fully took ownership of my kale salad that you can find on chefjulieyoon.com, and I kind of taught her how to do it as we went along, and she made this, and I think it looks really good. And then I think the charcuterie board looks so cute, and I'm glad that I didn't have to assemble it.
Let's go.
Okay, you can feel free to snack on it. Do you guys want to take it over there and everyone can just snack on it?
Sure.
Welcome to America. It's our sister-in-law coming from Korea. Isn't that crazy? First Thanksgiving in like, I know. First Thanksgiving in America in like 10 years.
Oh, this one's from California?
Yeah.
You have a knife in your hand, and then with this angle, there's a halo behind you.
Okay, well, it's time to eat. It was a success because everyone pitched in and everyone plated, and I think it looks really good. So we're tired, hungry. I'm a sweaty mess. I didn't even get to change, but it is what it is. So I just want to say happy Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoyed watching this entire series. And if you did, remember to push like and leave a comment down below. Also subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you know whenever a new video is posted. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Look at the
Happy
camera.
Thanksgiving!
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.